All right, so this is again New You program, and today we are in week number 11. We're almost at the end. So, congratulations again for making it to another week. And our focus today will be on spirit, balancing our spirit. So, we've been working on holistic health, mind, body. Today is spirit. And we'll also talk about fulfillment, right? So let me take you back to actually week 2 as a start, where we had talked about finding our purpose, finding our naggings, finding what are you feeling like doing in this moment. And what we had done was we had done our purpose statement based on that exercise. If you did it, we wrote our purpose statement. So in this moment, I invite you, if you did do that exercise, to go find your diaries, your notebooks, and open that up. If you have not done that exercise, simply close your eyes in this moment and see what are you feeling. What is your nagging in this moment? What do you feel called to do? And why is that? It could be something as simple as I want to be healthy. I want to be purposeful. Whatever your purpose statement is, let's take a minute to read it if you have it. If you have already memorized it, hopefully, simply close your eyes and repeat your purpose statement. My purpose in life is, and I get called to do that because what is my why? And when I do that, how do I feel? And again, if you've not done this, don't worry. We'll again connect with this purpose, connect with that feeling again in a couple of meditations that we'll do today. And why that's important is that on the topic of fulfillment, one of the ways to get fulfilled is to live your purpose. So that day, at the end of the day, end of the week, end of the month, end of the year, end of our life, that will be our legacy. If we are able to do things that we want to do, that we get called to do, then we will feel fulfilled. That simple 1 minute, like I give you that one example. One week I was tired, but my daughter was read me a story. That one day, even though I was tired, I could have just said, let's just sleep or don't worry about it. I took a moment and I read her a story, and in that moment, I feel fulfilled after that because I was able to do what I had said makes me happy. So know your why, know your also reason behind it. And one of the small podcasts that we had done, I had shared the recording and I'll share it again in the email that we send out when I spoke to Dave here, and he talked about his why. Connecting with that why is important because that gets us going. For Dave, it was what one day when he felt like he couldn't even walk up and down the stairs, he was feeling tired. That was his why that got him connected to his purpose. That gives him fulfillment whenever he goes and run. So it's important for you to go and find your why. So let's do a little exercise, visualization, similar to what we had done before. I invite you to be comfortable. And let's again settle. Close your eyes if you're comfortable. Let's bring our awareness again to our breathing. And in this moment, feeling settled, let's think of one last time when you did something that brought you pleasure, that brought you happiness, joy. Think of a memory, could be long time ago, many years ago, or it could be yesterday or today. And see what was that one thing that you did, where are you? Who is around you? And what is that's bringing a smile to your face as you're thinking about that incident? Connect and be aware of your body. See how that memory, see if it relaxes your body, if it opens your heart. See if it makes you feel that you did something that you enjoyed, that you liked, that you wanted to do, and you feel fulfilled. And in this moment, you are connected. Something other than the body, something other than the mind. You're connected with your spirit. And the quote, the purpose of life is not just to be happy. It's to be useful, to be honorable, to be compassionate, and to have made some difference, that you have lived and lived well. See if any of those words resonate with you. What comes up for you? What is your purpose of life? What will be your legacy? Ask yourself that question. 10, 20, 30, 50 years from now, what will be my legacy? What will I be remembered for? And now, if you like, you can repeat this affirmation. I live my purpose. I live my purpose. And again, connecting with that commitment. I can, I will, I'm committed. I live my purpose. And I take aligned actions, or simply, I live my purpose. And with that smile, with that fulfillment, let's come back, open our eyes, taking our time, moving our body. So, continuing, if you've taken your 2 quizzes, which are the Prakriti and Vikriti, which we had shared a couple of weeks ago. If not, let me know in chat. I will share it again. You know your results, and from that results, what you know is some numbers that you received. So today again, last week we talked about mind. We're continuing again. What you're looking for is what is your highest score. So on the top is your natural state of balance, which the Prakriti quiz gave you, whether you're a hummingbird, whether you're an eagle, whether you're a swan. And now what we're looking with the Vikriti quiz is where we are out of balance. And whichever number is your highest is the number that you can work with, meaning if Vata is your highest, meaning you are all over the place. If Pitta is your highest, that meaning that you are too intense. Kapha is your highest, meaning you're having a hard time get going. So one of the ways to balance the mind, last week we talked about sound and sight. Another way to balance the mind is through meditation. So if Vata is out of balance, meaning you're all over the place, You can utilize guided meditations. You can use movement. And if you are a pitta, then use mantra meditations as a focal point. If you're too intense, focusing on mantras, repeating or chanting will help you, again, cool down. We also touched on sound of water. Water always helps. So whether you're near water, river, ocean, or simply a sound of water flowing will help you cool down. And if you have a kapha balance, meaning imbalance, meaning you're having a hard time get going, then a body awareness meditation or a group meditation will help, because you may feel like not going, but being around people who are meditating or who are moving, anything that they're doing, yoga or otherwise, will help you also get going. So with that, I'm going to now switch to our guest speaker.
So good morning. I'm Gayatri, and I am your well-being coach for today. I'm a well-being coach, an Ayurvedic lifestyle instructor, and a meditation instructor. I like to help my clients create a life that they don't want to take a holiday from. And in essence, it's basically creating a life that is full of joy, meaning, and purpose, and one which keeps them in balance and they're content with. And we're going to be talking about balancing spirit and finding fulfillment today. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself before we begin. I've spent a lifetime learning, and I've always been seeking out what my true purpose is. I wanted to do something that combined everything that I love doing. And along the way, I kind of got lost. Like we all do, you get busy with life. And, I sat on my dreams, I stifled my voice, I felt disconnected with everything around me. And I let fear hold me back. And all of these things happen when you get disconnected from spirit, from who you really are. And it's meditation that kind of brought me back into balance and into alignment with who I truly am. It brought me back to my purpose. And that's what we're going to be focusing on today, right? Balancing with the spirit, finding your fulfillment, connecting back to who you truly are. And the best way to do this is through meditation. Everything else helps, but I found for me, that's what really brought that home for me, the balancing part. And the premises, we actually start out perfect and whole. We're perfect, we're whole, there's nothing in us that needs to be fixed. We're already enlightened, but we end up forgetting. Life, the world makes us forget who we truly are in our inherent wisdom. We become disconnected from our inner voice, our intuition, and even our body's subtle clues that tell us we're going off course, we're not feeling well, something's not right. And we stop listening to all of this. And we get mired and bogged down in stress and accumulate toxins, and we start getting into repetitive cycles where we keep doing the same thing again and again, expecting something else to happen. And meditation helps you get out of that repetitive programming that we fall into, and it opens up an entire field of infinite possibilities. It helps you reconnect back to who you are and how to bring that into your life as well. So in essence, meditation is basically begins with bearing witness to your current experience without judgment or expectations, where you don't want to change what's happening. You're just aware of that moment and exactly how you're feeling and what you're doing, and you accept it that way. And that's what meditation is. If you're doing anything with that presence in that moment where you're bearing witness to the present moment, not in the past, not in the future, then that activity and moment can become a meditation. So you can have a walk, and if you're being witness and you're present in that moment, that becomes a walking meditation. You can do that with a meal. If you're present in that moment, looking at your food, using all your senses while you eat, and only fully focused in that moment on your food, your thoughts aren't here or there, that becomes an eating meditation. It's that easy as well. But how does this connect to the spirit? Meditation is simply bringing your awareness to the silence within you. And the silence is where the real you resides, the observer. We're not our thoughts. We are the thinker of the thoughts. We're the silent witness to our words and our actions and our deeds. And it's the space between our thoughts, that gap, that we actually find our true selves. So you have a thought, another thought, and there's a tiny space there. And that's what meditation does. It brings you into that silence, which has been there waiting for you all along. And we think we know who we are. Yes, we think that we know who we are from the beginning, our true self. But many times we actually don't know that. What we think is us is not us. I'll illustrate this. For me, it began with the simple question of who am I? And I'm going to ask you to kind of do this. I'll take you through the steps. If you're comfortable, I'm going to ask you to close your eyes. And if not, just lower your gaze softly in front of you. Bring your awareness to your breathing. Breathing in and breathing out. Just breathing in gently and breathing out gently, not controlling your breath. And now I want you to ask yourself, who am I? Who am I? Now consider your answer. Did you answer describing what your job title is? Or another label, such as, I don't know, I'm a teacher, I'm a doctor, I'm a daughter, I'm a mother, a brother, a father. If I ask you to take away that label, who are you then? And now take away any descriptors you may have added to it, such as your gender, your age, your cultural identity. If I strip those away, who are you? Ask yourself now, who am I? And most likely you'll answer with your name. And if I take even that away from you, and I ask you now, who are you? Will you know the answer? But we're still ourselves, because in essence, we are none of these labels. We've been simply bequeathed these labels from other people, from external sources. These are all external descriptors. These are not an internal reference. The spirit, your soul, the observer, your consciousness, it has many names. But this is who we truly are. And that is only met in the silence from the gap. So how do I get there? So how do you get there? How to get to know who you are? Because I don't know about you, you can share in the chat. When I heard that question of who am I? And you took away everything that described me, I was lost. And it was through meditation that I was able to find the answer to that question of who am I? Because it's actually the practice of discovering or rediscovering actually that silence that exists within you. It's just waiting for you to find it. And many of us think we have multiple thoughts at the same time. We don't. We have a thought, another thought. Between those thoughts, like I said earlier, there's a gap, and we want to get into that gap. So depending on how stressful you are or anxious, the gaps may be very small between your thoughts, but they exist. And that meditation helps you find that space between the thought each time and bring back a little bit of that silence and stillness into your day-to-day life. And the more often we do it, the more we bring back, and that gap gets a little bit bigger and easier for us to find. Many of you know that meditation has been touted, and it's always advertised as being a great way to reduce stress. And it does. It reduces your stress. It does a lot for your health, but its benefits extend far beyond that. Meditation can help you bring back your balance in your body, mind, and soul. For a coherent, holistic being, you need all of these to be in balance. So today I'm not going to be focusing on the many benefits that meditation is going to give you for reducing your stress, your anxiety, your insomnia, or your blood pressure, or any of those things, or helping you bring your flight, fight, or freeze response, right, into a balance. I'm going to be concentrating instead on the spiritual benefits that meditation brings you. And that one step closer to finding and feeling fulfilled. So, what are the spiritual benefits of meditation? When you go into the gap, into that silent field of consciousness, you end up having a stronger sense of your meaning and purpose in life. You connect to that much more, and you bring that back with you. You feel a much stronger sense of purpose and meaning, and it extends far beyond you. So you feel that connection, not even to self, not even to source, but you feel that connection to others around you as well, and to your environment, and to the greater world around you. It starts extending beyond that. And we're going to be doing a meditation at the end of today's session, which will help you feel that as well. And you have, because of this connection, you actually end up having stronger relationships as well. That's one of the benefits with not only yourself, which is the most important relationship you're ever going to have in your life, but with others around you as well, because you are coming from a sense of that stillness. We tend to respond more than react more. So you will have that connection extending well beyond you. Another benefit is that you end up having enhanced creativity and flow, because consciousness is that field of infinite possibilities. And remember what I was saying about patterns earlier? We tend to repeat a pattern because that's what we're used to. That's our automatic response. We will do things a certain way. That's our go-to. But what meditation does is it opens up your eyes to there's so many other options. And when something presents itself to you, you realize you have an opportunity to respond to it in a very different way that you wouldn't have usually. And you'll also tend to find that you will be in the flow of things. It'll come easily to you as you're connecting to the self. So things will feel very natural. Your responses are not going to be going through these layers of conditioning. Instead, it's going to be more from your gut reaction, from your intuition. It's going to come there. It'll come easily. It'll flow out of you. So you'll start finding that as well. And you'll reconnect to your true self. So when you are not tethered to external things, when your value of yourself is not entrenched in what your job is, or who is with you, or who you are, what other people think of you. When it's not external validation and you're secure in who you are within yourself and you're sure of that, other things don't affect you so much. You're very safe and secure and sure of who you are, your own power, your own abilities within yourself. And circumstances may change, but you will know your worth, and your love for yourself will not waver in that sense. Because when you connect to yourself, you can answer the questions of, who am I? Am I seen? Am I heard? Am I loved? Those kinds of questions with, you know that you are loved. You know that you are seen and that you are heard by yourself, first and foremost. And that's who you actually have been seeking all along. That validation which you've been looking for from everyone else, you tend to now be able to give that to yourself as well. And there's nothing which is more freeing than that. Now, there are so many types of meditation. The most important thing to remember with meditation is you want to find something that suits you. There's not a one fits all scenario with meditation. There was a story once about these two students of meditation, and one started saying that the true path to enlightenment is to renounce the world, renounce everything, give up everything. And the second disciple said, no, the way to enlightenment is to have an abundance of everything in life. So these two went to their teacher and they asked him. The first one presented his argument and said, the true path to enlightenment is by giving up everything. And the guru said, yes, you are right. The second student said, but I thought it is the path of accepting everything and having abundance of everything and letting everything flow to you. And the guru said, yes, you are right. And the third disciple was sitting there and he said, wait, they both cannot be right. And to this, the guru replied, but you are also right. Because in this example, he said, there are many paths to the top of a mountain. So the same way, there are many paths in meditation to reach that silence and that stillness. So there's many forms of meditation. There's no right or wrong in any of these. It's just finding what suits you and what works for you. That's what you want to do. So there is mindfulness. As I was saying, that's the whole premise of meditation, begins with that, being mindful of that moment without judgment, without trying to change the circumstance of being in that moment, being fully present. So you can have walking meditations, eating meditations, or just being mindful of whatever you're doing in that moment. You have affirmational meditations as well, where you repeat the affirmations. The only thing with affirmations is just be aware that you are going to be in a more active state of awareness. You don't tend to go into the silence because with affirmations, we make associations with those words. But again, it does bring the stress down for people. It relaxes you. It's a nice one for intentions as well. We have sound meditations, which is with, you can have music playing in the background, you can have the sound bowls, and this also with the vibrations unlocks a very different experience in you. Visual meditations, depending on your cultural background as well, or what you've been exposed to, there is, something hypnotic about looking into a fire or a flame or concentrating on that. You can look at a Shri Yantra as well for people who are uncomfortable closing their eyes as well. These visual meditations are fabulous for helping that. And, try it. There's no one kind of meditation you should stick to only. Try different ones. I started off my journey of meditation. I've been meditating since I was 16 years old with just a normal mantra. I was not formally taught, but I would just repeat that mantra because mantra is a vehicle to silence, to get away from the active mind, to kind of move into the silence. I started off with that and, that works for me. But when I learned primordial sound meditation, which I'm going to discuss with you later, I found the effects of that were much more profound with me. But there's many different types. Last week, you did a beautiful chakra meditation with Jazz, as I saw. So chakra meditations are fantastic as well. There's Yoga Nidra, which is a very deep form of meditation as well. You can have your guided meditations, your visual meditations, where you can have visualizations or guided meditations, which are for very specific reasons, and you'll have a certain experience. And the visual ones are very good visualizations or body scans, which will take you step by step by step. There's usually a motive or something we have in mind that we want you to achieve when we do a guided meditation. So you'll be taken through that process as well. Mantra meditations is what I was talking about earlier. So you're given a mantra specifically, which, as I said earlier, is a vehicle to move into the silence. And there is, I think, transcendental meditations, one of the most famous ones from there. There's the usual mantras, which are in existence. There's quite a lot of them. One very popular one people use is Soham. Primordial sound meditation, we use the primordial sounds that existed in the universe from when you were born. It's calculated from where you were born, when you were born, and the location of the moon and the planets from that time, which is what I've been trained in as well. And then I started doing meditation with that. For me, it was a very different feeling because I fell into the meditation much faster, into that silence or that depth of feeling that I had compared to what I'd experienced previously. It's very hard to describe the feeling of what happens when you are in a meditation. But, these things really do make a difference. So, like I said earlier, you want to meditate and you want to find which form of meditation works well for you. One way to help you with that is you did your doshas already, you've done your dosha quiz. And sometimes knowing your dosha, your prakriti, helps you decide which kind of meditation would suit you. So for vata, you find it very difficult to sit still. For two reasons. One, because your thoughts tend to race everywhere and you find it very difficult to settle down. So guided meditations are fantastic for you. And Vata can also get very uncomfortable while they meditate. Their feet tend to hurt or, you get pins and needles. So one myth that exists with meditation that many people think is that you can't move. You have to sit there and you have to concentrate, and you can't move at all. And you have to sit stock still in a particular position. You don't have to do any of those things. Meditation is supposed to be effortless, with ease, and quite gentle in the process of it. So we don't want to be frowning. We don't want to be concentrating like this. We want to do it with ease and grace. So if you're uncomfortable while you're meditating, Vata, feel free to readjust. Change legs if you need to. If you're sitting cross-legged, you can sit in a sofa, you can sit in a chair, you can sit on a meditation cushion. That's up to you. But feel free to move and readjust yourself. It helps for you if you have meditation cushions or cushions near you, which you can kind of put under your feet to help you as well. Your joints tend to get uncomfortable and Vatas tend to feel cold, so blankets do help, or a shawl, a light shawl, if you want to cover up with that, so you're not feeling cold during your meditation. Meditation is supposed to be comfortable. Pitta, you all like a focus, a goal. And while meditation is about the experience of being rather than the end point of it, because as previously said, meditation is the less you do, the more you gain. So you actually like a focal point. So you may find a mantra meditation or a focal point like the flame or the Sri Yantra hung up, and you want to concentrate on that while you're meditating to kind of bring you into that space. That helps with you. A visual meditation too. And you like being in nature. It'll help cool your pitta down. So you can keep a pot plant next to you or have a picture near you where you meditate to start off with that greenery. Or you may want a fountain next to you just for the sound of water. Kapha, you can be a little bit sluggish. So you may want to do a body awareness meditation to bring focus into each part of your body to connect with how you're feeling. And because sometimes you can shy away and not very good at connecting with people or don't want to, you can withdraw. Group meditations are good for you to share that energy with people around you. Sangha, community is good for you as well. And you may want to use aromatherapy with invigorating scents like lemongrass or eucalyptus or something like that as well. So knowing your dosha helps you with meditation, definitely trying all different kinds of meditations also. There's a lot of apps these days you can try out to help you as well. Now, the basics of meditation are, you need to have a mantra if you're doing a mantra meditation, and you can sit down anywhere and you can start. And I'm going to take you through that later on. But before we get to that, many of the hurdles or preconceptions people have before they even begin meditating or they just try meditation is there's quite a few, right? So one of them is, I don't have time. I don't have time to meditate. Now, here's the thing. You don't have to do half an hour. You don't have to do an hour of meditation. You can do 5 minutes. You can do 5 minutes of meditation and still reap the benefits. Yes, we do recommend half an hour of meditation, but just like a marathon, I'm not going to expect you to do 10 kilometers the first day you run. Same thing with meditation. We want to ease into it. So I'd say start off with 5 minutes. And just like you build your muscles, build up the time eventually and make space in your day. But 5 minutes and you already get the benefits. Definitely, there's different benefits you'll get if you start doing half an hour each day. There's very profound benefits for your health and your spiritual well-being as well. But you will start feeling the benefits even from 5 minutes. Another hurdle or myth is I can't stop thinking. I can't empty my mind. You don't need to empty your mind. The more you try and think, but the more you try and stop your thoughts or attempt to not think, the more thoughts will rush in. And then you're going to spend your whole time beating yourself up about trying not to think. It's impossible not to think for anyone. And look, we're not going to be yogis. We're not trying to be a guru or maharishi or anything like that. We are doing it to connect back to self. We're doing it to connect to that silence. So we don't need to be in a rigid position and sit in a lotus position a certain way and empty our mind. We do not need to do that at all. All we need to do is just sit down, close our eyes softly, repeat the mantra we have, or if we're doing guided meditation, follow that. If you find other thoughts coming up during any one of those meditations, gently bring your focus back to the present moment and you're meditating. So here's the difference. If I'm meditating with a mantra, for example, and I do mantra, oh, I wonder what I should cook for dinner today. I didn't do the grocery shopping. These are my thoughts. But if I'm having these thoughts and I go, oh, I haven't done grocery shopping. Oh, I'm thinking, I'm not meditating. And now I do mantra. I've gone back to meditating. But if I went down the path of, well, I haven't done my shopping. What should I get? How should I fit it in? Then I'm not meditating anymore. I'm thinking. And it's as simple as that. Just bring your thoughts back to the mantra or back to the guided meditation you were taking. Reconnect to that present moment. Be in the present. Don't be here or there thinking about something else. And then you're meditating again. So there's nothing difficult about it. There is no reason to think your mind has to be empty at all. The other thing is it's too hard. Now, this feeling tends to come from people from two reasons. One, because they've been introduced to meditation or the concept of it where you have to empty your mind, stop thinking, sit in a particular position, do it for this long. The rules are too rigid. You don't need these rules. Just do it with ease, like I said earlier. Make things easy on yourself. You don't need to sit in a particular spot. You can sit on your sofa, your favorite chair, be comfortable, and meditate. The second reason people find that it's too hard, again, this is where coaching comes in, or you need to speak to a meditation instructor and really get down to the bottom of what is it that makes you think it's hard? Is there a fear of something there that you think is making it hard? What are the stories you've given yourself of making it hard? Or is this something you were trying to avoid? Is that why it's hard? Is it because with me, what happened is, like I said, I had meditated since the age of 16, but I left meditating when I was grieving. It was too hard. The moment I would sit down to meditate, all those thoughts and feelings that I was trying to avoid definitely came. And that's what made it too hard, because I did not want to face all those emotions. They had to be processed somehow. And they were waiting to be processed, right? The moment you are in stillness, your mind is in stillness, your body is still, and you are sitting there, that's when these emotions come up and they need to be dealt with at some point. So that's why people find it hard, because it is either fear or something we're avoiding. And that kind of connects to the last one. These are the most common ones. If there's anything else that anyone wants to share, you can go ahead and do so in the chat. And we will meet those specifically if we can. But one of the other ones is I don't like the silence. People say they don't like the silence because, again, there's something waiting in that silence for you that you don't want to process. It's undigested feelings, there's thoughts, there is emotions. There are intrusive thoughts, yes. Definitely, there is thoughts waiting there. Something bothered you earlier. It's sitting there because you haven't processed that yet. You haven't digested it. There is anger sometimes. Somebody did something to you. It's provoked you on some level. Your ego has been hurt. Something's happened and we haven't quite dealt with that yet. That's what's usually waiting in the silence. And that's why people don't like the silence. Now, sometimes you can be coached through it. Sometimes you can try the meditation and do it. And sometimes you need to go through those feelings eventually. So that's why, depending on what you feel you're ready with, that's why sometimes guided meditations can be much better for you if you're not ready to face that silence yet, or you're finding it very difficult. Otherwise, you can definitely go to a meditation instructor or coach. You can get coaching on those emotions or those feelings that helps you process. For me, it was a combination of working through the grieving process through Ayurveda and digesting those emotions, coming to terms with that, and also doing the primordial sound meditation. So everyone has their own journey. Everyone has their own special circumstances. But in my experience, this is why I was scared of the silence and finding it difficult. And I did go back to meditation once I went through all of those, definitely. And that's one thing I could not function without is meditation. Now, with everything else, we want to set ourselves up for success. We want to be able to meditate. So we want to, like I said, there's no rules and there's nothing you have to do with meditation at all. There's nothing which is absolutely necessary for it, except for the will to do it, right? You have the will, you decide which kind of meditation you want to do. You can sit anywhere and do meditation at any time. But there are a few things which can help you. So setting up for success. We want a space. If you are in your house and you've decided you want to meditate daily, it does help if you've got a space. If you have the luxury of space and having your own meditation corner or room, good for you, do that. You can put cushions, a chair, make it inviting, put a little rug, put some plants. Some people love having an altar, put some crystals, incense, a candle, whatever you like, decorate it according to you. I find aromatherapy is very helpful. It helps if you have that same fragrance, which you use every single time and don't use it anywhere else, because it prepares your mind, your senses. When you smell it, it knows you're immediately going to get ready for meditation. You're going into that stillness and your body actually starts settling down much faster when you smell that aroma. So you can use, like I said, an incense stick, a candle, oils, essential oils, in a burner. It can be, or a diffuser, whatever you prefer, what suits you as well. And definitely, I think you did with the doshas last week as well, with smell. There was a list available of which ones suit which doshas. So just have a look at which ones are suitable for you according to your current Vikruti, which ones will suit you as well. Again, like I said earlier, you want to be comfortable. We don't want to sit in a very stiff, uncomfortable manner because, like I said earlier, I'm not training to be a yogi. No, we're all just meditating for the health benefits and the silence and reconnecting back to our spirit, right? So we want to make it comfortable because we're unlikely to be able to actually dedicate ourselves to the meditation if we're thinking about how uncomfortable my leg feels, back hurts, or whatever it is. So sit up comfortably. The only, like I said, there's no rules, but the only thing that I would recommend is don't lie down when you are meditating because your body associates you lying down with sleep. So it'll start preparing you for sleeping instead. So if you have a medical condition or you're injured or you're unwell and you're unable to sit up, understandable, prop yourself up with some pillows behind you so you're at an elevated angle and your body is aware that you're not getting ready for sleep. Otherwise, you can, like I said earlier, you can sit in a chair, you can sit on the sofa. Just make sure you're sitting on a chair that you have, armrests or something by your side so you're not going to fall off in case you fall off to sleep. Some people do sleep when they're meditating. Every meditation you have will give you what you need from that particular meditation. You'll have the experience that you need in that moment. So sometimes people do sleep. If they're extremely tired, that's what their body needed. We fall asleep. We have different experiences each time we meditate, according to what's needed. So you want to be comfortable. And you can use meditation cushion, a futon, whatever suits you and your circumstances and meditation you're planning on doing. Definitely, you can meditate outside of your house too. I've meditated in the airport. I've meditated on the airplane. Just make sure you are safe. Do not meditate if you're driving your car. Definitely not. But you can meditate, on your way to work if you take public transport, a train, anything. So it doesn't have to be a dedicated space only. But if this is a practice you're doing, having a particular spot where you know that you meditate is great. There was one particular person who used to meditate in the car every day after work before entering their house, because they knew they would have that silence in their car. No one would interrupt them. And then they were ready to be with their family after. So find what suits you for your circumstances. Earlier, I touched on do it according to your dosha as well. Find out which kind of meditation suits you. So if you're brand new to meditation, find meditation style that suits you. One of the best ways to find that is doing it according to your dosha. Pranayam. Pranayam helps you according to your dosha as well, or you can do the most basic pranayam of Nadi Shodhana as well, alternate nostril breathing. It helps calm and settle your body down, calm your mind down, and helps you focus on your breath and prepare you for the actual meditation. Any amount of meditation is better than no meditation. So meditating for 5 minutes or 10 minutes is better than not meditating at all. Just remember that. And it doesn't matter if you've done a guided meditation, a meditation on calm, a mantra meditation. Any form of meditation is better than doing nothing at all. So please do that for yourself. And just to recap, there's 3 keys to your success, okay? 3 simple things I'm going to give you as a takeaway. Have a routine. Vata hates routines. Pitta loves them, right? So Vata hates routine, but we need that, because what happens is you take the guesswork out of when you can meditate if you have that. So if you have a set space or a spot that you like to meditate in, or even a time, you know that I'm going to meditate 6 o'clock every morning or 7 o'clock every morning, whatever time suits you, right? Again, no judgment here. It's whatever time suits you. You don't want to do it late at night, because then that disrupts your circadian rhythm. Your body thinks you're getting ready for sleep. So you want to do it in the morning or in the early evening, right? That you want to do your meditations. If you're doing it twice a day, morning and evening, right? But have a set time so you start getting used to that as well, of doing it. And even if you're traveling, you have that consistency of time as well to help center you. So consistency is the key element there. Start small. Please do not jump into thinking that you need to do a 2-hour meditation and then not doing it again. So like I said, 5 minutes is better than 0 minutes. So small meditation is better than no meditation. Start with 5 minutes and work your way up. Once every day is better than doing a 2-hour meditation on Monday and then not doing it again for the rest of the week. That's just not good. Let me compare it to this. You would not brush your teeth on Monday 4 times and then think that I don't need to brush my teeth on Tuesday because the benefits of it will carry through. No, you wouldn't do that, right? It's the same with meditation. It's better that you do 5 minutes every day. The benefits of meditation start taking effect immediately, definitely, and it does carry through. But remember, this is a muscle we want to exercise. We want to get used to meditation and build up on it slowly. So best is to do it every day. Start small, build up. And please do not beat yourself up if you miss your meditation there. Okay. And there is a saying, meditate every day, do half an hour, right? But if you are busy, too busy to meditate, then you need to meditate for an hour. Why? It may feel counterintuitive. I'm giving more time the days I'm feeling more stressed and rushed, but you actually end up achieving more in your day if you meditate as well in the morning. So what happens is, because you're getting into that stillness and that silence, and you bring that back with you, you'll find you're much more responsive during the day. And remember the creativity we were talking about earlier. You will find you are very quick to find solutions, and you're in the flow. Things will happen for you much faster. There's synchronicities that occur when you meditate. The universe facilitates a lot of solutions for you when you start meditating as well. So it makes a lot of things possible. A lot more happens. So it may seem like you're spending half an hour doing nothing, but you're not doing nothing. Meditation is an investment in you, an investment in yourself, in your health, in your greater good, and your higher self. So it is not a waste of time. And keep it effortless. The less you try, the more you achieve with meditation. So the less we concentrate, the less we're trying hard. Like, I have to reach silence. I need the gap. I need the gap. No, we're not going to get there. You need to keep it easy. A trick that I use, I suggest for most of my students as well, is when you're new to meditation and you're meditating and you feel you're focusing, you tend to frown. You don't realize that you're like focused, or you're thinking, I need to bat the thoughts away. I need to concentrate. Try smiling gently. It's very difficult to frown and smile at the same time. So if you feel that you're getting into that, just smile very gently. Eases up your whole jaw. You can frown and you tend to relax. And just be very gentle with yourself. If thoughts come up, that's okay. If you get distracted, that's okay. Just gently bring your focus back to the meditation and ease into it. Now I'm going to take you into a short meditation as well for now, to feel connected to self. We'll go through that, and then I'll see you on the other side of that. Okay, so to start with, I'm going to ask you to, because we've been talking for a long time, I'm sorry, I'm just going to ask you to stretch a little bit. Just get a little bit out of your neck and your shoulders if you have any kinks. Settle down into your chair. Sit comfortably. Make sure you're safe where you're going to sit. Sit comfortably. Close your eyes gently if you're ready. Otherwise, lower your gaze gently to a point in front of you. And just drop in. Follow your breath. Breathing in deeply. And breathing out gently without effort, not trying to control the breath. One more deep breath in and out. Another one. Breathing in, breathing out. Become aware of how you feel in your body in this moment. Become aware of what it is that you're feeling. Are there any thoughts or emotions at the forefront of your mind? Acknowledge them. Accept it. Acknowledge it. See it and hear it. And now let go of it. Let it be. Feel your breath expanding your belly. And as you exhale, feel your chest going in, your stomach going in. Another breath. And drop down into your core. As your breath comes in, follow your breath up into your chest, into your heart center. And stay in your heart. See if you can feel the beat of your heart from inside. Can you feel it pumping? The breath coming in and out, blood pumping through your veins. Can you feel its strength and its fragility? Can you feel the warmth spreading through your heart? And now feel it emanating through your whole body, spreading throughout you. Imagine a light inside your heart, any color, but imagine a light. And with that light, imagine a warmth, and it's growing larger and larger with each breath. And now I want you to think of yourself with love, with kindness. Send love to this picture of yourself. And now I want you to think of a loved one. Send love to this loved one. Think of all the people you love and care about. And think of sending them love and goodwill. Feel that warmth going from you out into them. And now feel it spreading out beyond them. Feel the sense of love going out into your environment, to everything around you. Feel a connection to the trees, to the animals, to everything that happens to be around you, to other people in your community, but beyond your community. Let it extend all the different faces you see, well beyond your community. Think of your country as a whole, your nation. Think of people of all ages and backgrounds and extend that same love to them. And now feel this going beyond the borders which we've constructed of nation, well out beyond it. Feel a connection to everything. All the countries involved, all the people. Think of all the far Feel that you're floating over the whole world now. You're floating, untethered to your body, untethered to a plane, high above. And you're looking at the world. Looks like a tiny little speck, a beach ball, globe. And you feel tiny and huge at the same time. Now you can see the whole universe. And feel that strength, that vastness within you as well. You're connected to everything. We are not separate. We are not one person, separate to our environment, separate to people, separate to everything. We're all one and the same. And just be, come back into being yourself, into your body, back into feeling its presence in this moment, back into feeling your breath, just breathing in and out. Just with me, I'm going to repeat this mantra. I want you to say it to yourself. Repeat after me. Aham. 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 Now repeat this mantra silently to yourself. Keep repeating it, and I will mind the time. Aham. 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 If you find your thoughts are drifting, just bring them back gently, effortlessly. Aham. 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 If a thought keeps coming back, or you're feeling uncomfortable, or an emotion, if possible, sit with that emotion. Just let it move through you. If it's too strong, it's okay. Take a moment, open your eyes, breathe, and then come back to the meditation. Aham. 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 And when you're ready, stop repeating the mantra. Taking a deep breath in, deep breath out. Welcome back to the being in this moment, in this point in time. You can open your eyes when you're ready. And welcome back.
Gayatri talked about a couple of things that I'll just do a quick recap. One is she talked about meditation with doshas. The meditation that I gave you earlier on was depending on where you have an imbalance, right? You can do the opposite ones if you remember from our Ayurveda session. What Gayatri was also talking about was whatever your natural state of balance is, that's what you likely works for you. And you can also do those kind of meditations based in those shifts. Again, if you're confused or if you have some questions, please reach out via email or set up a time with any one of us coaches. We will help you. Second, she touched on PSM, which is called the primordial sound meditation. It's a powerful technique. And I have a whole web page that I'll actually share the link with you. If you're interested, you can look that up. Based on your time of birth and where you were born, a mantra is calculated using astrology and times and location and so forth, and that becomes your primordial mantra. This is a very ancient technique that is very powerful. It's very healing, and in simple terms, as Gayatri touched, the sound that was there in the moment that you were born, it sort of connects you with that sound, and that takes you back into silence and again, stress, anxiety, many benefits of it. And second, she talked about Shri Yantra. So again, if you have a hard time focusing, hard time closing your eyes, this can be a wonderful way for you to look at something visual. Shri Yantras are very powerful geometrical figures, and they come in many shapes, sizes, and they again help bring positive energy in your home. Helps you cleanse, helps you focus. If anyone's interested, I have 2 sizes available, and you can reach out if you're interested, and I'll share more details with you. So at the end, hopefully enjoyed the session, connected back with your purpose. If not, go back to week 2 recordings, redo that purpose, repeat that statement, and please share with us in the chat anything that you picked up on today, anything that you're taking back, that you commit you will do. Have a wonderful day ahead. You can reach Gayatri at her site or her email. There's a number of books that she recommends. And we'll see you next week in our last session on celebrating the new year. Bye-bye.